focused on winning football games as you do and do throughout the years. When you have great coaches, then after you have great coaches, you get great players. You have a great organization, and you tell them one thing: just win, baby.
Marketing come up with that for him. Those were his phrases that he came up with, that he believed in.
Just win. Play hard. Try not to make mistakes. But don't worry about mistakes, because there's only one thing that counts. Just win. Just win.
Yo, welcome to the SC Raiders Talk, aka boy SC, and I'm back. You feel me? It's been what, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, 3 days. Shout out to everybody that's in here so far. Blessings to you guys and your families. We back though. We back to talk about the draft. Tom Telesco did his thing, and the more I analyzed these guys' film and researched and did more of, you know, all that due diligence, the more I like these picks. So we're gonna talk about all those things, obviously. First of all, like I said, you know, usually takes me quite some time to just get used to all that stuff, but you know, finally I got it down, watched some film over these guys, and honestly, it was a great draft, man. I think it's one of the best ones we had in a while, and if they all reach their potential, stuff like that, I think it'll look really, really good. So you know, let's just you feel me? Let me shout out who's here so far before we get into it. Shout out to All Eyes on G. What's good, All Eyes? What's good, Raidersssssssss? What's good, Press? Good to see you. Hope all is well. Shout out to SoCal Sal. What's good, SoCal Sal? Anthony Provincial, man, and everybody coming on by slowly but surely. Shout out to you guys, man. Blessings. Hope your guys' week is going well, and hopefully you guys enjoyed the draft as well. I know a lot of Raider fans are pretty mad at certain things because we didn't pick a quarterback, but you know what? It's not all so negative at all. You know, the more we look at it, the more I don't think it was a bad draft at all. I think it was a pretty good one, and I'll give my final grade towards the end. But you know, let's go with individual so far. So let's go straight into it, right? Let's get straight into it. Brock Bowers, man, the tight end out of Georgia, a surprised one when it happened, actually. A very surprised one when it happened. I know everybody was shocked. I didn't get to record my reaction, but my reaction was I stood there for like a good, I would say, 30 minutes analyzing the pick. But hello, I feel good about the offseason. I feel good too, Troy. Shout out to you. Hope all is well. But obviously, Brock Bowers pick at number 13, something that none of us predicted. I think nobody really predicted that I could see, unless somebody did. But who would have known we would have went this version of offense, right? We thought it was going to be a tackle. We thought it could have been a cornerback, a defensive tackle, even rumors about it could have been a quarterback, right? Shout out to Cool Kev. What up, Cool Kev? So let's get straight into it, right? Brock Bowers at 13. Every defensive player was on the board. The boy from Napa, California. So he's very familiar with, you feel me, over here in the West Coast. But obviously considered a top 10 talent in this year's draft, top 5 prospect in a lot of people's eyes, a lot of the media scouts and everywhere across. Everybody has him as a top 5 prospect of this year. Some have him at 4, some have him at 3, some have him at 5. Even some of them have him at number 1, which is crazy. But we got a top 5 prospect here in our hands from Napa, like I said. Of course, most of the offensive tackles, especially the right tackle, and especially the cornerbacks were available, and we ended up going this route. They went best available. Shout out to My 2 Cents. What's good, My 2 Cents? Salute. Hope all is well. Blessings. Shout out to everybody coming in. But obviously, Brock Bowers is one of those generational talent guys, man. The more you look at it, it's an offensive weapon for what we got. Shout out to Joseph. What's good, Joseph? Brock Bowers is our Casper, the new ghost. And this is exactly what I'm saying. You know, to ease the pain to a lot of people that didn't want to pick quarterback, you got to look at how the draft board is in. It's one thing for the picks to happen, but it's another thing to look at the draft board. And later on, obviously, when we talk down the line, like the pick number 3 in DJ Glaze, you'll realize that the draft board just led us into a desperate move. And you know, you can't dictate that, right? So obviously, Brock Bowers, top 10 generational talent, easily. Napa, California, 6'4", 240 around there. Shout out to Space Beast. I did 1K mocks, and I always traded down or went cornerback or tackle, but I ain't mad at it as a fact. What you start to realize, the way Antonio Pierce and the way Tom Telesco are building this roster, they're building to help the quarterback a lot. And what I mean is it's to make the quarterback's job easier. If you look at all the things, right, that they have done, from bringing in offensive linemen to building the defense from the interior side to bringing a lot of veterans to drafting good, you realize that they're drafting to make the quarterback job easier. And that's exactly what they did with somebody like Brock Bowers, a guy that could do it all, a very versatile guy that could line up at the slot, be a second tight end. When I think of Brock Bowers and Michael Mayer, I think of the Rob Gronkowski, Aaron Hernandez days before all that shit happened, right? Two dynamic tight ends that are good at separate things. Two guys that work good together, that are young, up and coming, dominant. That's what it is. That would be my comparison as far as the potential it could lead to. Now, is there a chance that Brock Bowers won't turn out good? I mean, for every draft, every person in the draft, not everything is 100% guaranteed. So obviously, there's always that in our back of our minds. But a guy like Brock Bowers, the talent he brings in, all these different things, he's a really good prospect. And at that, he makes the quarterback's job easier. He had over 1,600 yards after catch, which is really damn good for a tight end. And when you look at Georgia games, he was the best player out there on the offensive side of the ball, easily. For 2 years back to back, was leading and receiving, stuff like that. Obviously, you know, when you look at his value and where we got him in, that's way above value. You know, he should have went in the top 10. And he kind of discussed about it. I don't know if you guys have seen the new Raider video that came out. That was his draft story. He pretty much said he thought he was going to the Broncos. They went a different direction. Then he said that, that they were all thinking that the Raiders all passed because they didn't think the Raiders were going to go that route. But then they ended up doing it, and he got a call from Vegas. So he was even surprised. A guy with 56 receptions, 714 yards, 6 touchdowns last year. And, you know, on top of that, he brings a lot of value to that offensive side of the ball. Shout out to Pyro. What's good, Pyro? What's good, Pyro? Good to see you, man. Hope all is well. Shout out to everybody coming in, man. But obviously, I love it, man. I love this pick a lot. He had 2,538 yards receiving. He which is the most ever by an SEC tight end. He also scored 31 touchdowns, which 26 of those 31 touchdowns were receiving in 40 games across 3 seasons. That is amazing. The fact that you have 31 touchdowns as a tight end and 26 of them are receiving, that means the other 5 of them were either rushing or the sweeps, right? Obviously, the sweeps that he was known for. This is another weapon on the offense. So obviously, for me, grading this pick and stuff like that, I have it at an A. Shout out to everybody, man. Shout out to Raider Way. What's good, Raider Way? What's good? What's good? Shout out to Space BC says, "What's up, my dogs? Appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate all of you guys coming in, man. I appreciate it. Make sure to hit that like button, push out the algorithm to other people, man, and stuff like that. You feel me? Shout out to everybody, man. But obviously, a very traditional tight end, a very generational talent, man. And I ain't mad at him, man. At first, I was a little surprised because there was a lot of needs that we had, but obviously, you had to go best available, right? Shout out to Aim Joe. What's good? Eric stopping by and give you your dues. Keep grinding, bro. Go Raiders. Hey, shout out to you, man. Shout out to you. I appreciate you, man. Blessings, man. So obviously, Brock Bowers, an A for me, value-wise, all those things-wise. Need-wise is a C. Need-wise is a C. And why it's not an F or D is because, the tight end room is very thin. Bryant ain't good that much. And obviously, Michael Mayer had an injury. But obviously, he's going to come back stronger. Michael Mayer is a first round tight end as well, right? I was obviously picked in the second round, but obviously Brock Bowers is a generational talent, and for that I will give it an A to help out the offense. He's an automatic starter for me, 2 tight end sets, stuff like that, and hey, just a weapon, man, a weapon for that offense that we needed. So I'm happy about this pick. I don't know about you guys. At first I was shocked, but now I'm really happy. Um, I'm glad. I'm glad they went best available instead of reaching, because we've had a really big problem with reaching. A really big problem. So I'm glad what happened. And Brock Bowers is a Raider, man. Here we go. Our new either starting tight end or next or second tight end. But regardless, he's going to be out there getting snaps guaranteed and will be a starter guaranteed. So obviously, moving on here, as the second pick was another one that is considered a first round talent, and Jackson Powers. Jackson. Obviously, some know him as a center, but Tom Telesco came out and said that they would most likely use him as a guard at that right guard position. And he obviously did play guard his sophomore season, I believe. I think he played majority at right guard. Shout out to Jalen. What's good, Jalen? Salute SC, Salute Nation. Just wanted to say F Acho for saying we lost the draft. F Colin Coward for saying we are finishing last. And F the media thinking AP get fired for this draft. Let's fucking go. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to Raider Paul. What's good, Raider Paul? What's good, Raider Paul? What's good? What's good? Good to see you. You already know what it is, man. You already know what it is. You already know what it is. JPJ is so good. Facts, man. And Jalen, this is what happened last year, man. They said we lost the draft. They said we lost. We're last in the division, that we have no chance, that we wouldn't even beat the Chiefs once, that we won't do this and that and the third. It's normal every year. You kind of get used to it, right? We're all used to that shit, right? Yo, all lies, you're wildin'. You're all lies wildin'. All lies wildin'. All lies wildin'. Shout out to everybody, man. AOC4 will unleash and allowed to run. His confidence will get higher. That's a fact, man. Shout out to D Menace. What's good, D Menace? Good to see you, man. Shout out to everybody coming in, man. But obviously, JPJ is the next one here. Obviously, with the quarterbacks we have, all these picks is to make the quarterback's job easier. And that's exactly what's going to happen. Which we're going to get to Michael Gallup, y'all. We're going to get to Michael Gallup at the end of the draft talk, right? We're going to get to that Michael Gallup because I think that's a really underrated pickup in free agency. A very cheap one at that as well. And we'll get to that, right? Straight up, SC, every year we prove them wrong, right? Sometimes, most of the time, we don't make the playoffs, but we still prove them wrong, right? They always say we're going to be last in the division, and we're never last in the division. It's like, you feel me? It happens. It happens at the end of the day. So, obviously, JPJ, man, the next one here out of Oregon. Shout out to John Leon. What's good, John Leon? Good to see you. Obviously, from Draper, Utah, obviously has very strong family ties. Family ties, y'all. He came out and said that his grandparents had season tickets at the Coliseum when the Raiders were in Oakland. Not only that, he also said that that his first game was against the Niners. The Raiders versus Niners game was his first game, and that he always enjoyed the Raiders, and obviously his family got them ties, and you could see they were very happy for him. A guy that fell from the first round, the best center pretty much in a while coming out of the NFL draft. Not only that, he also played guard his sophomore season, I believe. His sophomore season, he played that. He made his first career start in his sophomore season, which was against Utah, number 10th ranked Utah, which they beat that year. And he played 400 offensive snaps that year. 350 of those snaps were at right guard. 44 of them were center. 5 of them were at right tackle, and 1 of them was at left guard. And that was in his sophomore season. Then obviously switched to the center position, where you could say arguably he was the best center of last year. 100%. And a really good pick, man. Shout out to Raider Paul. Was good, man. Shout out to everybody coming in, man. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys for being in here. Shout out to D-Menace and everybody. But obviously his versatility and his dogness and his wrestling background helps the Raiders a lot. A guy that throws people over, won the award for best center in college football. Shout out to Johnny Gruden back in the building. This guy better than Joel. But yeah, obviously JPJ, a goddamn dog, man. I think easily. Shout out to Flores. What's good, man? Can't wait for the season to start. Love our picks. That's a fact, man. That's a fact. You already know what it is, man. That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. Our O-line will help our quarterback shine. And that's the thing, John. They knew they had two different plans. And I'm surprised nobody has really talked about the plan that I have seen, right? I don't really jump on YouTube that much because I'd be busy. But the things I've seen, nobody really talked about the plan. The plan was obviously what he said at the press conference. He told everybody straight up, hey, we have a plan to trade up. We have a plan to stay put. We have a plan to go back. But the other plan he didn't mention was the plan they executed in the draft. If there was a possibility of a quarterback being gone that you want, you needed a plan. And they had that plan in this JPJ stuff, right? And the Brock Bowers and all these guys that were getting on the offensive side of the ball. It makes the job easier for the quarterback. They knew that if they can't get a quarterback in the first round or even in the second, their guys, right? Their guys there. Obviously, you just make the quarterback job easier. Obviously, Jaden Daniels left. Jaden Daniels gone, right? Jaden Daniels gone. Michael Penix, that was a surprise for Atlanta. That was a surprise for Atlanta. No, Kukev. That was a surprise for Atlanta. Atlanta went a whole different direction and pretty much messed up, which I would have thought that Michael Penix would have been the pick at 13, which I'm kind of glad they did us a favor because Michael Penix at 13 is a little bit of a reach, a little bit. But they went that route, right? He's gone. Bo Nix, the guy we brought in, as much as some of us have different opinions on him, he was a guy that we were interested in. He was gone. So when all these quarterbacks are gone, nobody's budging to trade, you have to go with the backup plan. And the backup plan was, hey, we don't think any other quarterback is better than what we got. And Tom Telesco came out and said that they believe that none of the quarterbacks that were left, and that's the Jordan Travises of the world, the Joe Miltons of the world, the Sam Hartman of the world, all those people were not better than what they believe in our quarterback room. So they had to go in the direction of making the job for our quarterback room a lot easier. Build the team no matter who is under center. And that's exactly what happened. And that's why I'm not mad at it. It was a good plan, a good backup plan, and that's exactly what they executed. Would I have liked it to go a different route? 100%. You know, somebody like, well, actually, no, I didn't. Not 100%. Would I like to see like people like Fuaga, obviously, stuff like that? Obviously, would I have liked to see Jaden Daniels? Yeah. But our draft alone, we got two guys that are generational talents at pick 13 and second round. That alone should give this draft a high grade. Those two picks alone. Just because these are automatic starters, the best in their positions, broke records, and nobody else has done what they have done. Right, so with Jackson Powers Johnson, obviously, like I said, played 400 snaps in the thing. He also that year of playing right guard and all that, he had an 84.1 overall grade, a pass blocking grade of 86.2, and an 84.7 run blocking. So pretty good. And then amongst Pac-12 guards that year, he was first overall. He was second in run blocking, and he was third in pass blocking. And there was a lot of good offensive linemen coming out of the Pac-12, y'all. A lot of them. I mean, majority of them were in the first round, right? The Washington tackle, gone. The guard, gone. Jackson Powers, gone. The year before, Alex Vorse, one of the best ones, gone, right? That last year. So a lot of good came from the Pac-12. So the fact that he was first overall in PFF grade, right? Which I don't really mind the PFF grade. Sometimes I don't really look at it, but this time it showed it on the film when I was watching it, right? Second in run blocking, third in pass blocking as a guard, running 350 snaps at right guard in his sophomore season. That's a tremendous thing. And from there, he progressed, moved to center, and was the best center in the whole college football. Shout out to my 2 cents, Bowers and JPJ, generational talents. Easy, man. Shout out to Raider Twan. What's good? My 2-for-1 nation brother, man. What's good? John Leone. Now, maybe our offense could help our defense out a little bit. And that's a fact, man. That's all we ask, right? Put points up on the board. That's it, right? So, obviously, JPJ, man. Generational talent. I love this pick a lot, man. Also, allowed only 2 pressures and 0 sacks in 181 pass blocking opportunities that year. Started 13 games last season. Like I said, center, got the All-American honors and Remington Award that is awarded to the top center um, of college football, right? And then obviously, besides that, man, we did bring in somebody like Whitehair, right, from the Chicago Bears, which obviously is familiar with the system, but that's perfect, man. Bring in a veteran. No, Sean Payton is not over AP, cool, Kev. But obviously, JPJ there has the veteran above him, right, in Whitehair that could teach him, right? A guy that was a Pro Bowler that had 118 professional starts for Chicago, has all that different accolades that could help a rookie like JPJ. And I believe, shout out to Raider Romero. What's good, Raider Romero? Good to see you. I believe, and I'm going to make this prediction now, my starting offensive lineman week 1, my ideal offensive lineman week 1 as of right now post-draft would be Colton Miller, Dylan Parham, Andre James, Jackson Powers, Thayer Munford. That is my offensive line. Now, I know a lot of people have different opinions on Thayer Munford, which Thayer Munford I believe in a lot. People forget that he blocked for CJ Stroud, and CJ Stroud had one of his best seasons with Thayer Munford. Thayer Munford also been to the playoffs, has that thing, wasn't too bad. He was not too bad at being a tackle, man. And had one of the Ohio State had one of the best offensive lines when he was there. So Thayer Munford has been progressing. He's somebody that I would love at right tackle. The other person we have at right tackle is obviously the one we'll get to DJ Glaze right now, and stuff like that, obviously. But we also got I believe, let me make sure I have my correction right. I believe he's still on the roster. Dalton Wagner. Wagner's another one that could be at there. I love Wagner a lot. He's another guy, UDFA, stuff like that. Really good prospect coming out of college and has been progressing that well. So for me, I'm cool with Munford at right tackle, y'all, because he's got help. It's a zone scheme now that he's going to have a lot of help on the right side. Why? Because people make other jobs easier. Now, not only does the offensive weapons we got make the quarterback's job easier, but the offensive weapons we also got make our right tackle job easier. There's going to be a lot of 2 tight end sets. Brock Bowers, Michael Mayer, that can help with blocking, especially Brock Bowers, right? He's not the there was obviously better blocking tight ends that are specifically good at blocking, but this guy could do it, right? He could do it all. So having this help to help out the right tackle alone is good for us, because in case our right tackle struggles at times, we got people that could help him, and that's all we could ask for, right? Now, moving on, obviously, he's versatile, right? You see a lot of versatility with the guys we have, right? Example, Bowers, wide receiver, tight end. You could even use them at running back if you wanted, right? An extra offensive lineman. Then you have JPJ, played guard, played tackle, like played center, but specifically center and guard, a versatile guy. Shout out to Thomas Hernandez. What's good, Thomas? But besides that, I'm cool. This is an A for me, man. Value-wise, tremendous value. One of the best prospects of this year. Obviously, top 25 prospect easily. And on top of that, we got him at pick 44. What better can we get there? So shout out to Tom Telesco for cooking in the first 2 rounds. Now we go on to the very questionable pick in Delmar Glaze, the offensive tackle out of Maryland. And that is facts, DeMarcus Webb, Richie Incognito vibes with Jackson Powers, 100%. He's a mauler, could throw people aside, and that's what JPJ is, man. And that's a fact. And he has his own hamburger. He has his own hamburger at a restaurant. That shows you a lot, right? But obviously, this one was a questionable pick for a lot of us. Now, I'm not gonna justify it, but I will say this was the worst pick out of everybody that we drafted. Not saying that it was a horrible pick, because at the end of the day, this guy does have potential. But at pick 77, there was way better talent on the board that I would have rather gone in that direction, right? And there was a lot of offensive tackle, right tackle free agents still available. So I would choose those instead of getting somebody like Glaze. But obviously, they had a plan to get a tackle. Obviously, the board started falling of offensive tackles. Offensive tackles were going off the board, 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 right? So obviously, they had to make a desperate move. They didn't have to, but they did. A desperate move for an offensive tackle, and we got a fifth, sixth round guy in the third round, which was a reach for a need. And that's exactly what we've been doing. That's why I'm happy they went the Bowers direction and the Jackson Powers, because that's the best available generational talent, and it was not a reach. So now you go on to Glaze, that was a reach. The board fell in that way, and that's why I give this grade. Oh wait, Jackson Powers an A, by the way. Jackson Powers an A, Bowers an A, Glaze a C. The reason why I don't have it at a D or an F is because it's justified by the way the draft board led to. But he does have potential there. He has a long wingspan of nearly 7 feet. He's good in pass protection, had allowed 7 sacks in 1,300 snaps, which is decent. He's obviously going to be a swing tackle for us. He will not start as a rookie. I 100% could guarantee that he will not start, but it's going to be a swing tackle. Has experience with 32 starts out of 49. Was actually blocking for Tua Tagovailoa's brother. I forgot his name, like Tavisa or something. Tua Tagovailoa's brother. Glaze was the one blocking for him. And he's a very versatile guy. He also played guard, by the way, y'all. Glaze actually played guard as well, but he played mostly at tackle. And there you go. He's a guy with potential, right? That's it. Circus says, F the draft. No quarterback selected. Fire, but Rattler was available at 13. That's how it be, right? That's how a lot of Twitter stuff is right now, which is funny. But there was a lot of better talent right now in front of Glaze that I wish we would have led, but they obviously made a desperate move for a need, which sucks. But, nothing's perfect. No draft was going to be perfect, and that's why the Glaze pick even happened. So for me, am I fully mad at this pick? No, but am I disappointed? A little. But he has a lot of potential to learn under everybody that is there, like Thayer Munford, Wagner, even Colton Miller, and everybody that we got. And we're changing offensive line scheme, y'all. So, you feel me? That would help him a lot, right? So, obviously, I'm cool with this, stuff like that. Then, obviously, moving on with that, we have a new offensive line coach, I believe. It's James Craig. If you don't know who James Craig is, obviously, I could not tell you. I'm not going to lie. I just know it's going to run a zone scheme. That's what I do know of. A zone scheme, those things. I have to look up James Craig a little bit to learn more about him. But I do know it's going to lead to a zone scheme, yada, yada, yada. He also, this is the guy that was the assistant for the offensive line at the Niners. And the Niners had a pretty good offensive line. That's what I do know. Craig was an assistant offensive line coach. That's all I know about him. Also going to a zone scheme. But yeah, obviously. So it would help him a lot having some value there. The veterans on there. So for me, this grade is a C. What grade? So I didn't ask you guys for the first 2 picks. What's your guys' grade for the first 3 picks? What's your grade for Brock Bowers? What's your grade for Jackson Powers? And what's your grade for Glaze? What's your guys' grade for each and every single one of them? Mine is personally Brock Bowers at A, Jackson Powers at A, and Glaze at a C. What is your guys' grade for all of these picks? Yeah, it's not Brasilla, cool Kev. It's not Brasilla. What is your guys' grade for these guys? For me, AAC so far. But obviously, Glaze is a guy that was a reach for a need, man. And it sucks that the board went the way it went. A lot of defensive players are still there, but A plus B. Okay, that's a good validation right now. A plus B. But yeah, so Glaze arms enough to keep goddamn cook and be like that sometimes, right? Um, but yeah, so obviously now we move on to a better one. John Leon says A plus, A plus, B minus. Cool Kev says A, B, C. Circus says F, F plus. No quarterback selected. A plus, A plus, and C plus. So A plus, A plus, C plus. B for Bowers, A for JPJ, and C for Glaze. Okay, these are reasonable ones, man. Bowers B plus because we drafted tight end last year. JPJ as an A plus, and Glaze D minus. Ouch. That's what I feel like. Okay, now we move on to the next one, man. Shout out to everybody, man. Shout out to the 40 people in here, man. I appreciate you. Blessings. Hit that like button, y'all. It'll push it out to more home feeds and other people's YouTube feed and give them the notifications. I'll greatly appreciate it. AAC. All right, Romero. AAC. That's a good valuation, too. Now we're going to DeCamerion Richardson, the boy out of Mississippi State. A 6'2", 434 cornerback. Has size and speed at the next level. Johnny Gruden says A plus, A plus, D. Obviously, he lacks experience. He lacks experience in takeaways. He has had 0 takeaways in his college career, but was one of the best tacklers in the nation, actually. I think he led tackles back-to-back years, I believe. So a really good, talented player at that level, right? And obviously, exactly what I said on Saturday. I said that this was the replacement for Amik Robertson. And who took the number 21, y'all? I believe DeCamerion Richardson took the 21, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody correct me wrong. He took the 21. I think it was him or the other corner. I think it was him though. He's a Amik Robertson replacement. Something Amik was really good at, and you guys know how I feel about Amik. Everybody that's new here, I was like Amik's #1 hater at times, and obviously he proved me wrong in a lot of the things. And I ate my words half the time, right, and other half the times he proved me right. But he proved me wrong. You know, I ate my words for him. So Amik Robertson was one of those guys that I always said his strongest suit was the blitzing and tackling ability, and that's something that DeCamerion brings to the table. But besides that, he lacks a lot of takeaways, and we need takeaways we need dogs that's gonna go out there and take away. Can he get taught? Hell yeah. And this is why no matter who we brought in during the draft, I was really, 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 what's the word? I was really excited because the coaching staff we have, y'all. Marvin Lewis had one of the best in recent times defenses, right? Let me go down the line. Rob Ryan. Do I have to say more? Antonio Pierce. These defensive position coaches will help somebody like DeCamerion Richardson reach his potential. So eventually, will he start? Maybe in the future. But right now, I don't see him starting at all. For me, our pick later on has a better chance at starting. And also, I believe, I truly believe Jacoian Bennett might end up if we don't get a veteran corner, which it looks like we're not done by free agency, by the way. That Michael Gallup pick was like a little bit of a left turn, but it looks like they're not done with free agency. You guys remember June 1st. There's a lot of good free agents out there still at the end of the day. So yeah, but obviously he needs molding, he needs help, and he has potential. Obviously, a guy that Tom Telesco praised about his speed and his size, that you can't teach that, but you could teach all the fundamentals. And that's exactly what he's going to come in. So for me, this pick here is a B. I believe it's a B for me. I think TJ Tampa would have been a little bit better just because of that. But TJ Tampa was also slow. So as you see, a lot of the guys that we brought in are fast. So I could understand that. So for me, it's a B. DeCamerion Richardson is a B for me. I would not give it an A. He was estimated to go in the 4th, 5th round. So it's great value. That's why I bring it at a B. It's a good value. But just for me, I don't see him starting right now. But a really high potential guy from Mississippi State. You better catch the no Diddy. But at the end of the day, I said this about the secondary, y'all. You don't need big name secondary if you have a good defensive line. And guess what? We have a really good defensive line. And I could give you a little bit of examples. You're like, SC, how the hell does a defensive line make a secondary better? Well, look at the Niners, look at the Bucks. The Bucks made Patrick Mahomes run for his life and made that secondary look like their top. They had a rookie safety, y'all. A 5'10 rookie safety. A 5'10. And he was a Pro Bowler that year. Sean Burfy Bunting was nothing before that year. And then you go on to the Niners, right? The Niners are another one. That their defensive line, they brought in old ass Richard Sherman his last year. His last year in the league. His last year. And he looked decent with that defensive line. Now you go on to the Raiders. That the Raiders, the Patrick Graham scheme is built on a true interior player. And guess what we did in free agency? We established exactly that. And last year we were a top 10 defense. So now you added on one of the best defensive tackles in free agency that could help in that interior, which Patrick Graham's scheme is built a lot on that interior pressure. And now we have that. So it's going to make our secondary better. We didn't get Tampa to do the scheme, get to Tampa due to the scheme. And that's the thing, right? Tampa just didn't fit us. You know, as much as I wanted Tampa, I think that was the best available at the time. He just doesn't fit what we got going on. He doesn't got what we got going on, right? That's all that was, right? It was DJ Tampa. Okay. But yeah, so obviously you see that. And then obviously look at Circus. What Circus said. Corey Littleton looked like a Pro Bowler because of Donald. And we're not saying that Wilkins is Donald, but I'm saying having good interior pressure makes everybody around him better. And we have Max Crosby, y'all. We got Max Crosby. We got Malcolm Kuntz emerging. And he's on a contract year. And you know what players do on a contract year. Y'all know that. You know what they do on contract years. They play out of their minds. Which he was already progressing anyways, right? So hit that like button, y'all. Stack them up, help the algorithm. I appreciate it. But obviously DeCamerion, man, high potential, but a C for me. I mean, a B for me, a B for DeCamerion Richardson, just based on value, scheme fit, what he could bring, and the potential. I give it a B, maybe a B minus. I think I'm gonna give it a B minus. I'm gonna give it a B minus for DeCamerion Richardson. Not a horrible pick and not an excellent pick, but I still think he has a high potential there. Now we go on to a Raider in my eyes. Tommy Eichenberg, the linebacker out of Ohio State. John Leon, I ain't gonna lie. I think you have to at least extend him, bro. I think you have to look at that. I think he's one of those guys that's not going to ask for tremendous amount of money. Like, I know he's not one of them that's going to be like, I want a whole lot of defensive end money. Like, I don't think he's that type of guy. So I think you sign him now. You don't want to wait till last minute and not have leverage or any of that. I don't want the same thing that happened to Josh Jacobs with that. So obviously, I think you actually extend him post June 1st because you will get $22 million there. We still have $20 million now, and even with the Gallup stuff. So obviously, I think for me personally, you go out there and you re-sign Kuntz. And that's probably why we didn't go for a defensive end in the draft, right? That's probably why we didn't go for a defensive end in the draft. We did go in UDFAs, but we didn't go in the draft a defensive end. Why? Because I think they're going to re-sign Kuntz, y'all. And then we have Tyree Wilson there that could go from the interior to outerior, right? Exterior. And then obviously now we have Eichenberg, a guy that kind of writing on the wall for Spillane. Shout out to James Furple. What's good, James Furple? Good to see you. Eichenberg is like that Zamir White pick, a guy that's going to give us leverage when we have contract negotiations with both Diablo and Spillane. Because at the end of the day, Diablo and Spillane are on contract years, y'all. They're on contract years. So having a guy like Eichenberg that, just like Ray Love said right there in the call, AP said, bring that green dot mentality. Why would he say that? Why else, right? Brings us leverage for later on and extending people like Spillane and Diablo, and a guy that, a dog, man. When I look at Eichenberg, dog, man. A Big Ten linebacker of the year in 2021, team leading tackler in 2022 with 120 tackles. I mean, what else, man? I think the only thing he lacks is pass coverage, and even then, he could get taught that. I mean, Antonio Pierce, our coach, is a linebacker, both a player and coach. And last year, our linebacking group was the weakest and became the strongest during the season. Why? Because of good coaching. What can good coaching do? Exactly that. So obviously, a good depth to the position. I think he's better than Amarni Burning. Obviously, I think he's better than Burning. I think he's better than Masterson. I think he's better than all the linebackers that are depth wise. And I think he's behind Diablo, behind Spillane, and great depth to the thing. So he's gonna bring some special teams. I think he's gonna be there playing special teams. And he could easily be a Spillane, y'all. Easily with good molding, I think he could easily be a Spillane. So will we see some snaps at that linebacker position? 100%. 100%. 100%. Shout out to Michael. What's good? Michael subscribed and hit that like button. I support all Raider Nation. I appreciate that, Michael. And hopefully you like the content. I'm trying to bring the best content, bring some energy to you guys. And again, y'all, stay hydrated. Stay hydrated. Stay hydrated. Shout out to El Capitan Rafucho. What's good? But yeah, Tommy Eichenberg easily, man. Spillane 2.0. I give this one A minus. What you guys think? What you guys think? A minus for me. A minus for me for Tommy Eichenberg. A minus. Shout out to El Capitan though. Shout out to everybody coming in. But A minus easily. A good value pick, man. I like this pick a lot. A dog, man. Shout out to Gabby. What up? What up? What up? An A, okay. Fat draft review. What was your grade? So super. Pick number 1, I had an A. Pick number 2, an A. DJ Glaze, a C. DeCramerian Richardson, a B minus. And now Tommy Eichenberg, a B minus. I mean a B, a solid B. Oh no, A minus. My bad. I keep retracting my statement. I don't know what I'm saying. A minus for me. A minus for Tommy Eichenberg. So you got A, and then C, then B minus, then A minus. Shout out to everybody, man. A, B, A plus, one of my favorite players. Okay. B for Eichenberg. Okay. So around the B, A-ish range. That's a good range for him, man. Tommy, I give a B. Okay. Yeah, for me, obviously I have an A minus right there. Shout out to Michael L. He said, "What's good, Nation?" Eichenberg was an A minus for me. Pro Comp Romanowski. They also compared him to Spillane 2.0. They compared him to a lot of players, man. He's a really good linebacker and has the potential to be Spillane 2.0 and bring that dog. If he could fix that coverage skill, that pass coverage, oh my God, what a steal, right? And I mean, who had trouble with pass coverage last year, y'all? Spillane. Who else had trouble in pass coverage? Diablo. Remember, Diablo was he allowed the most allowed yards by any linebacker the year before last year. And Spillane was one of the worst coverage guys for the Steelers. And then what happened last year, y'all? They became one of the best ones in those categories. Why? Good coaching. This is what good coaching does to you. And now you add somebody like Marvin Lewis that built one of the best defenses in recent time. Woo! Woo! Like, what else can I say? I'm liking this pick more and more the more I think about it. Trouble in pass coverage, but 3 interceptions and a 77 rating on PFF. Spillane was decent. That's what I'm saying. He took the jump super. He took the jump. Why? Good coaching. Good coaching. That's what good coaching could do. And that's the thing at Capitan Rafucho. He was injured and still came out and played really good. Shout out to Raider Gabe. What up, Raider Gabe? What's good? What's good? A B plus for him. Okay. And said Tommy for Raider Paw says A plus. I like our coaching staff makes these draft picks so much better because of what they could do. Great coaching molds these players. You wonder why a lot of players don't pan out. Sometimes it is off the field things. Sometimes it's also because of they do dumb shit, right? But great coaching could mold even the biggest of potential guys into the best guys in those positions. And I truly believe that Brock Bowers will be in. This is a hot take. I'm gonna say this hot take pre-schedule release, pre-training camp, preseason, preseason hot take. Brock Bowers will be in the contention for offensive rookie of the year, and Tommy Eichenberg will be one of the best linebacking prospects in this year's draft once it happens. He played with both hands hurt last year, had cast on both hands, and he played like a dog like that. You need that mentality that's gonna go out there and do his due diligence, man. And that's exactly what happened, right? So Tommy Eichenberg, A minus for me, great value pick, a dog, and has high potential at the pass coverage. And if he could get molded into where I know he could get molded, he will be a dog for us, 100% for years to come too. So obviously, moving on here, we go to one of my favorite late round picks, guys. The more I watched film, the more I looked into him, the more I like this pick more and more. Dylan, I believe Laube, or is it Lobby? Is it Lobby or Laube? I think it's Lobby. It might be Dylan Lobby. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's Dylan Lobby. The running back out of New Hampshire, man. This guy, I like him a lot, y'all. I don't know about y'all. I know Lobby. Lobby. Is Lobby. Or is Lobby? It is Lobby, right? Lobby. Okay, I got it right then. Lobby. Dylan Lobby. There we go. I got it right. I'm bad with names and I got this one right. But obviously, Dylan Lobby, the boy from New Hampshire, a smaller type running back. He's the same size as Nick Chubb, 5'11", around there. He led his division. He led FCS in back-to-back years, all-purpose yards, both years in a row. He's a special teams guy, specialist, could catch off the backfield, had 700 plus yards receiving, and he had a multiple receiving touchdowns and multiple rushing touchdowns. This guy at running back 3, I'm not mad at it all. I'm not mad at all, y'all. He is running back 3. He is better than Brennan Brown, better than Sincere McCormick, better than I don't know what else running back we have, but I think it would be Zamir White, Madison, Dylan Lobby. That is my running back room, and I'm cool with that running back room because it's rotation. This guy could catch off the backfield, could rush, could do it all. Also a return specialist, led all purpose FCS at all purpose. He also had an impressive Senior Bowl, a very impressive Senior Bowl. He had 2 kick return touchdowns and 2 punt return touchdowns, y'all. 2 kick return and 2 punt returns. And he's most likely going to be in the mix for kick return and punt return specialist. And I think he will also be a backfield depth. So for me, I give this pick a B+. Cool Cat says B grade. John Leon says B+. My 2 cents says B+. Okay, so we're all around the same thing. Actually, wait. I forgot about Abdullah. I'm dumb. Zamir White, Madison, Abdullah, Lobby. And I think I believe that Lobby will have a spot on the team. I will make that prediction now. I may be wrong, but I think he will have a spot on the team. F minus not a quarterback. Gabe says B. Soka says B. Okay. F minus not a quarterback. It'd be like that, right? If you guys can, man, stack up them likes, man. You guys don't know how it is over here. We have 27 likes and 45 plus people in here, man. You guys can hit that like button, man. Let's try to get to 40, man. Let's try to get to 40. I appreciate it. Help out the algorithm, pushes out to more people, man, and I greatly appreciate it. So for obviously, will likely be a kick return specialist, stuff like that. I like what we got, man. I like what he got. He could even line up on the slot, y'all. Y'all didn't know that? He could line up in the slot. He's a great route runner for a running back, y'all. He's a great route route runner for a running back. Go look at his tape, man. I highly recommend you to go look at his tape. And I don't know, have you guys seen my edit? I made an edit on Instagram. Let me see if I could pop it up, actually. I made an edit, man. If you guys haven't seen it, man. I also made a Brock Bowers one, man. I need to make one for the other guys. But I'm going to show you guys right now. Let me actually share my screen real quick. Give me a second, y'all. Let me share my screen of my Instagram if you guys haven't seen it. All right, here we go. I'm gonna wait till it starts over.
Back in this year's draft class after he led the FCS in all-purpose yards for the past 2 years.
Great pass catcher, man. Look how he throws this guy, though. That's a surprise, bro. He chucked him, bro. Break tackle. Look at him. But yeah.
When you're coming out of New Hampshire, a level of competition that this guy dominates.
Well, there you go. There you go. So he was very impressive. Very impressive. Very impressive. A good value pick at pick 208. But I enjoyed it, man. I think it's a B plus for me. A B plus for me, 100%. Shout out to everybody that's coming in, man. I see a couple of people more coming in. J Dog, new offensive doula, could be gone. He could, and this might be his replacement. Shout out to J Dog, Milka Beezy, salute. If you guys can stack them up, hit that like button. I'll greatly appreciate it. Lauby can catch off the backfield, something we need to, right? And he's a good route runner, John. Like if you ever watch his highlights or you watch his tape, bro, his film, you will see that he's a good route runner as well. And like I said, a good kick return, punt return specialist. So yeah. So now that's a B plus for me. Moving on, the Jim Thorpe. The Pat Tillman. He won the Jim Thorpe Award at Pat Tillman. Shout out to Tragedy Turn Triumph. Salute. Trey Taylor from Air Force got the Pat Tillman Award, which is for character, intelligence, and sportsmanship, which that's his character, shows about his character. He also won the Jim Thorpe Award, which is awarded to the top defensive back with 3 interceptions and 74 tackles as a safety. 6 foot, 213 pounds. I mean, he brings the size. I wouldn't doubt it if he makes the roster, y'all. I think that you could see a roster of Epps, Merrick, Taylor, Palamau. Easily, y'all. I like this pick a lot. I think I give this pick an A. Yeah, an A. But obviously, I think my safety. Chris Smith too. We'll have Chris. I think we're gonna run 5 safeties because we're gonna have somebody in the box, like a safety in the box. So I think you would see a safety room of Trey Taylor, Palamau, Epps, Merrick, and Christopher Smith II. I think Jaden Grant's gone. I think Phelan Stanford's gone. And I think that's your safety room. So A for me. What do you guys think, man? TT is my steal for the draft. Okay. Like this kid, A plus for me. So around A plus the same way, man. Zamir White did change his number, though. He did change his number. So I like Trey Taylor, man. He's one of my favorite ones too in the late rounds. I think he was a steal. Shout out to Sean Johnson. He says, salute SC. Trey Taylor was coached by AP and Pop Warner and Ed Reed and his nephew. I did not know he got coached by AP and Pop Warner. I did not know that. Stay hydrated. I did not know that. That's actually good to know. Shout out to Sean Johnson. What's good, Sean Johnson? Good to see you, man. Long time no see. Good to see you. But that's actually good. And I do know that's Ed Reed's nephew, right? If he goes to the practice team, somebody would get him. Obviously, right? 100%, bro. So I think he's one of the guys that you got to protect, man. Or at least make the roster. I think he makes the roster. I think he does. I think he'll for sure start at special teams. I think for sure he will be at special teams, and I think he will be a project. And I also think he's gonna get some. He's gonna push for some snaps at the secondary position. But obviously, at pick number 223, you can't go wrong. Great value for his pick, man. And like I said, stack them up, hit that like button, y'all. Subscribe if you're new, man. We got some new subscribers, so I appreciate that a lot, a lot. And I hope you guys like the content, man. We're 10 away from 40 likes, y'all. We're 10 away from 40 likes. So if you guys can hit that like button, I greatly appreciate it. He's Ed Reed's nephew. Yeah, he is. I seen that somewhere too. But yeah, now A for that pick. Now going on for the final pick of this 2024 NFL draft, and it's MJ DeVincier from cornerback out of Pitt, somebody that I had on my board. In that 7th round, I think high value easily. He had 8 career interceptions. 3 of them came back to interceptions, y'all. Were returned for touchdowns. I mean, so a ball hawk, 100%. He played 50 games in 5 years at Kentucky and Pitt. He's strong in man coverage. He also adds depth to this cornerback room. I think a late round steal, y'all. I don't know about y'all. Late round steal. And I have him over DeCamerion Richardson. Me personally, that was my draft board. What I had before the draft. I had MJ DeVincier out there in the 5th, 4th, 6th round, 5th, 6th round. I think this is an A, y'all. I think this is an A. 100% an A. What you guys think? MJ is a C plus grade. Okay, cool. Kev doesn't like it. John Leon says A for this corner. Michael says B plus plus. Okay. Okay. Interesting grades. I mean, yeah, for me, I have an A value wise and stuff like that. He says Z minus. Last pick, still no quarterback. Oh, he a dog. He is a dog, Jalen. He is a dog. So for me, I'm all for DaVinci, cornerback out of Pitt, man, at the last final thing. So now, obviously, grading the whole draft. How would you guys grade it? Did Tom Telesco cook? What you guys think? Did Tom Telesco cook? 100%, Twan. MJ got a tough job to do 100%, man. This will probably be our safeties when 53 comes out. FC1, Marcus Epps. I said Marcus Peters. Marcus Epps, Christopher Smith II, Trey Taylor, Trayvon Merrick, Isaiah Palomao. Okay. Michael says A minus for the draft. A for the whole draft. Jalen says A for the draft. J-Dog says he cooked all right. He cooked all right, just wasn't what was on the menu. Okay. Solid A for Tom. Telesco cooked meth because I'm addicted to the smart draft styling. Tragedy says, Circus, sure we do. We got Carter. Armando says, what up, my Raider bros? Tijuana present. Shout out to Tijuana. Brock Bowers, the Vegas Joker for the Raiders. Trey Taylor, a diamond in the rough. It's our time to shine, big dog. Palabra. Hey, shout out to you, man. Shout out to Armando, man. Shout out to Tijuana. Shout out to that's a great. Hey, I like what you said, man. Trey Taylor is a diamond in the rough, man. He's one of those diamonds in the rough. And Brock Bowers is a dog, man. He is a joker of a guy, man. Could do it all. Sean Johnson says solid A. Telesco put the Potter House on the grill, 2,500 degrees. I give a B plus. DJ Glaze was an epic, which is why it wasn't an A. And that's reasonable, man. That's reasonable. Coupon Tom equals B plus. Overall, I think personally, he cooked. I give this draft an A minus. A minus for sure. A minus for sure. We didn't reach for nothing besides the Glaze pick, but even then, it's a C. I think it's an A minus. We had a lot of diamonds in the rough. We had a lot of top 10, top 20 prospects at the 1st and 2nd round. Great value. So that brings it up a lot. So I'm cool with it. A minus for this draft. I'm actually excited for all these rookies, man. I'm a for sure get one of these rookies jerseys. I don't usually do that. I don't know who yet. I'm gonna wait a little. I think I'm gonna wait for the first season to progress, and then I'm gonna buy one. But I like these rookies a lot, man. Most of them I like a lot. Who would you prefer in free agency? Xavier Howard, Stephon Gilmore, or Dory Jackson, Justin Simmons? Xavier Howard. Justin Simmons will talk to will cost too much. Realistically, A-, but feels like A+ because each pick made sense, unlike the past 10 years. That's a fact. That's a fact. And I think he cooked. But now, y'all, the talk of yesterday, Michael Gallup from Dallas to Vegas. The Raiders are not done with free agency. At first, the Bowers pick surprised me and didn't really like it, but started thinking more and said, well, you can't pass a rare talent like that if he pans out so fast. Pass on Gilmore, the facts. So, guys, how do you guys feel about Gallup? Give me your grades on Gallup, the Gallup signing. For me, Gallup did sign a 1-year, $3 million deal, which is a freaking steal, by the way. He was drafted by the Cowboys in 2018, had success with 66 receptions, 1,100 yards, and 6 touchdowns that year. He had a cap injury in 2021. He had a torn ACL in 2022, which limited his play time and effectiveness. But despite all of that, his production did dip a little, but he was still a good wide receiver 3 and 4 easily. And on a team that already has Devontae Adams, Jacoby Myers, and Trey Tucker, y'all, having Gallup as the wide receiver 4 or 5 is a steal at what we got him. A steal. And I like this a lot, bro. I think this is an A pickup, man. It's a great move. Low risk, high reward, y'all. It's a low risk, high reward. Only $3 million, which with the Cowboys, he was at 6 to 9 million being wide receiver 3 and 4. The fact that we did half that contract, that's tremendous right there. So for me, obviously, I think this is an A pickup for us, man. I think we'll help. Hey, make the quarterback's job easier. You have the weapons, you have the offensive line, you have the coaching. What else can you do? We have around 20 million in cap space, and we get additional 24 million on June 2nd to have around 40 million, 44 million in cap space. You are right. We ain't done in free agency. We are not wrong. And what I kind of see here, right? We didn't draft a wide receiver, y'all. Which that's why they kind of went the free agency route. The spots they didn't draft looks like the spots that they might do in free agency. We didn't draft a wide receiver, and Michael Gallup was the pick in free agency. We drafted cornerbacks, but I still think they're going to bring a veteran quarterback. If you look at our cornerbacks, there is veterans like Jack Jones and Nate Hobbs, but besides that, there's no other true veteran. And there's veterans in free agency, which I think we bring in. On the defensive side of the ball, obviously, that was the defensive side of the ball, but then the defensive line, I think we bring in another D-tier defensive end, and you got yourself a team, man. You got yourself a team easily. So a free agency pickup, 100%. But from Dallas to Vegas, man, Gallup is our wide receiver 4 and 5, man. And I like this pick a lot. And I still don't think we're done. We have 20 million right now, y'all. I would go waste 7 to 8 million on a cornerback. I would go out there and go get another offensive lineman, maybe a cheap one, just to see what we could do at that right tackle spot. A right tackle in free agency that's very cheap, that wouldn't cost too much, just to have that veteran presence there, right tackle, and help in case we need help there. And then obviously I would go a cornerback, defensive lineman still, and yeah, A+ acquisition. This Gallup sign is a C. You believe C? Okay. It's reasonable. I think it's an A just because of the depth and a veteran and very cheap. The contract really helps me bring it to an A because of the contract. I'm not saying he's going to come out here and be Devontae Adams, but speaking of Devontae Adams, I need to go see that podcast. I heard he was saying I went on IG, seen a clip. Shout out to my boy Press, seen that clip, man, and hey, he was talking that talk, man. I gotta go see that. Who else out there for wide receiver? I think T. Higgins requested a trade. Tyler Boyd is still out there, but I believe Tyler Boyd is interested in going somewhere else. And I can't think of whatever. There's other ones out there too. I mean, but I don't think we're done. I don't think we're done. I truly believe that we're not done with free agency at all. At all. So that's pretty much it for everything today, y'all. Hopefully you guys like the setup that I have. I know some people haven't seen this setup yet. This is the new setup, y'all. Hopefully I liked it. Hopefully it was good and presentable for you guys, man. But obviously, again, just to recap to all of you guys, Brock Bowers A, Jackson Powers A, DJ Glaze C, DeCamerion Richardson a B minus, Tommy Eichenberg an A minus, Dylan Lobby A minus, Trey Taylor. I think Trey Taylor I gave an A. MJ DaVincier I gave a B plus. I think a B plus. I'll give it a B plus. And then overall draft I give it an A minus. And then Gallup obviously I'll give it an A just for that. Shout out to everybody, man. Devontae Adams, wide receiver 1, Christian Wilkerson, Jacoby Myers, all behind them, you're saying. Okay, I thought you were saying like right after. Jacoby Myers, DJ Turner, Michael Gallup, Trey Tucker. I like that, man. Gallup is good if he stays healthy. That's a fact, man. We don't need wide receivers. That's why we got Bowers. And that's a fact, man. Tragedy. Thank you for bringing that up because Bowers is a wide receiver alone. Lobby is a wide receiver alone too. But Bowers is a wide receiver, man. So you're going to see a lot of Bowers lining up where the wide receivers usually line up, y'all. And I love this, man. You got a arsenal of weapons. You have an offensive line. The quarterback, all they need to do is do just enough and we win games and we will score points. That's the beauty of building a team, no matter who's under center, because building a team makes your life a lot easier. And it's going to be easier we got some red zone threats. We got some playmakers. We got some dogs. We got a good offensive line. We got a great scheme to fit these guys. We got great coaches. People are putting in work in January and February because of Antonio Pierce and the energy he brings in. When's the last time you've seen this many players show up at voluntary training camp? Never. Never this much. Now, 99% of the roster is at these camps already and putting in work in January and February, showing up in the facility. If that don't show you how much this locker room is excited to play for the Raiders, for the Shield, and for Antonio Pierce, I don't know what does, man. And that's why I'm so excited. And I can't wait for the rookies to see how they go about it in rookie camp, how they go about it in those meetings, and how they show up and see how much they buy into what Antonio Pierce is building. We got ourselves a team, y'all. We got to wait to see what happens at training camp. But I believe that Tom Telesco cooked. And the Raiders' future is really bright. It is bright. But on that note, y'all, I appreciate you guys for that, man. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys for all the love and support, man. Make sure to hit that like button. Hit that like button. Hey, hit that like button. Stack them up, stack them up, stack them up. That's what we say here, man. Stack them up. Hit that like button. Help the algorithm. All that. And if you have any questions or anything, I've been doing a pretty good job, even on my YouTube shorts. I've been doing a pretty good job at replying to everybody. Please drop it down in the comments. It'll also push the algorithm out there, man. Get the SC Raiders Talk out there more, man, and it'll be greatly appreciated. And I'll answer your questions or whatever you got going on or comments in the comments after the live is done. Go in the comment section, type anything, man. I'll greatly appreciate it. But on that note, y'all also hit that like button on the way out. Stack them up, man. And I appreciate you guys. Armando says, good looking, bro. Catch you on the rebound. I appreciate you, man. I will be live again Thursday. 2 for One Nation podcast, man. We're going to go over the draft picks and have Twan's input and all that stuff going pick by pick and really analyzing the draft on a whole deeper level and talking about all the possibilities. So 2 for One Nation podcast Thursday, y'all. 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 6 p.m. Eastern. But again, live individually next Tuesday at 6:30. The new time is 6:30, y'all. 6:30 p.m. 9:30 p.m. Eastern. But I'll greatly appreciate it if you guys come on by. Shout out to Alpocalypse. What's good, Alpocalypse? Our SU runs like lava when ending out is Apocalypse. Peace out, nation. You already know what it is, man. Shout out to Alpocalypse coming in, man. Hit that like button, man. Came down from the bridge today. I'm better, man. That's good. That's good. Shout out to everybody, man. Great live, Eric. I appreciate that. Peace Nation, man. And you guys already know how we ended off the year now, man. You guys already know, man. Put it in the comments right now, man. And another one. Shout out to you guys, man. Yo, shout out to Raider Pete. What's good, Raider Pete, man? If you guys can, hey, if you can, man, catch the rerun, man. I talked about all the grades and stuff like that, man. And hit that like button. Hit that like button. Also put your comment after all the comments that you have. If you're watching the rerun, y'all, if you're watching the rerun and you come across this, hey, put that comment in the comments down below, man. I appreciate it, and I'll reply to you. But shout out to you guys, man. Blessings to you guys and your families. Tough times never last, but tough people doing. You guys are some tough people, man. And remember, life is too short, so always throw your loved ones and love them, man. And this was the SC Raiders Talk, aka your boy Eric, man. And I'm out. Peace, nation.
Is the will to win.